What's up, 12s? It's Loaf the Tupa with the Seattle Seahawks, and you're watching Norbcam.
Ooh, look at this. We got arrows here.
Now we're going to get, Coach's Corner is getting legit.
High-tech Coach's Corner. I love it.
Yeah, so here we go. So I preset this in so that we'd have some stuff. So here's what's going to happen. And this is a very common thing that, to me, it was the craziest concept when it first came out around 2006, 2007. And I never, ever tell stories on this show. I've yet to do that, but I got to tell a quick one. So our team was very lucky and from a standpoint that we were invited to play, back then it was Questfield, week 1, last minute, a team had dropped out, and they said, hey, we'd like your team to come. Yeah, sure. And then they invited us to play a classification higher, the number 7 team in the state. And like, oh, man, this is going to be brutal. So my defensive coordinator I just hired says, hey, they're going to run this read option type of deal. We're going to do this, what I'm going to show you right here. And I said, no, you can't do that. We've got to have linebackers take on the guy coming into the middle, and our defensive end is going to have to take on, quarterback or whoever goes around the edge. But I put all my faith in him and his staff, and because I was an offensive guy, and I said, you know what? I don't believe in it, but I'm going to buy into you. And so we did it, and we ended up winning 8-6 because who was I to say? Because our offense couldn't score any points, right? Or I'm sorry, we were 16-6. But it was this type of a scheme. So here's what happens. And now ever since then, teams have been doing it. What's hard is you have to replace the X's and O's with the Johnnies and the Joes. So the X's and O's can look great on how to defend it. But when the Johnnies and Joes are guys like Kyler Murray on the other side, and you might have a great linebacker on your side, it becomes really difficult. What happens is, so on these read option, I think everybody pretty much knows what read option is, right? So you got running back that's going to come down hard, quarterback's reading the end, and his job is to check the outside shoulder of the end. If the outside shoulder of the end becomes inside to his shoulder, that's kind of the quick reference point, or if it looks like he's going to take away this dive, then you pull it out and you keep it, and your job is to just come hard around the edge. So this first set of arrows is our defensive end. His job, as soon as he sees that this tackle has come down and it's read option, automatic assignment is just crash down hard. And what's amazing is it works. We have a blitzing outside guy, safety that's come downhill, so he's coming hard. He's also going to come hard around the edge. So they're trying to bring as much speed to take care of the handoff. And here's the position it puts our linebacker in, though. Puts your linebacker in a position where now he has to roll over the top, and now it's him one-on-one with Murray. That's not an easy assignment, man. So let's play this just a little bit out, and I'm not going to play it all the way through. I'm going to let you kind of watch as it goes. So as he comes out, boom. Here's the difficult piece. Right here, you could see that as he started to make jumped a little bit. As he started to make his play, right as he comes around the corner, he comes hard to the inside because he doesn't see Murray at this moment. So as he's coming right here, he cuts it really tight. So remember, he started out back here, comes around, cuts it really tight. This is where his phenomenal footwork and understand angles comes in. Because if you notice back here, I have 2 different sets of things happening. He came hard, he comes hard, and then all of a sudden, his job is to make sure he keeps his outside arm free to everybody, to the guy that's blocking him, anybody blocking him, or to a running back or to the corner, whoever has the ball. Stay outside of him. Keep your outside arm free. You got 9 guys or 10 guys inside helping you out. You have nobody if you let Murray get around the edge. So watch as he loops around here, how he gets stuck, and then outside, nowhere to go. Dude, that is phenomenal. That is absolutely phenomenal, the way he's playing that one-on-one, and the fact he made the tackle. It's not the fact that he just did his job and got the double loop around. The fact that he got to here, and this is a little bit tighter, it's out of skew a little bit, but he doubles again. You'll see Murray here. Murray tries to then beat him to the outside after the little bump here, and now Murray has nowhere to go, and all Murray usually does is he'll cut back inside and he gets you 8 yards, 10 yards, runs out of bounds. It is just crazy good how well they play this. They just didn't do it, consistently, but here it is, outside. Now, the last part I'll show you on this, let's say Murray beat him to the inside. Why is it so imperative that this force, as we call it, again, he has force, corners have secondary force. Sometimes you'll just hear force and force, but to make it easy for people to understand, I always say linebackers force the play. Force it inside or out, but usually inside unless you're the Mike backer. DBs, you got the secondary force. You also have to force it inside. Watch how many guys come from the inside out. So if he misses the play, but he's done his job, other guys can make the play. They're all, where's Murray going to go?
Yeah,
he comes
he's
in
got
there.
nowhere to go.
Where's he going to go? Right. So that's where we started making the turning point in the second half of the season, when guys started understanding their responsibilities and what they need to do. Similar to what I was saying about the New York Giants. This is arguably the best play that he made all year. I think everybody's going to be relatively familiar with it. It was a play that took place on Monday Night Football. So a lot of stuff to look at here at the beginning of this play. The orange is, I represented it with Minnesota. Obviously, the yellow is the one guy that's making the play here that we're talking about. It's basically simple zone. It's a bootleg play. So a play action pass coming. Quarterback's going to run this bootleg. What's phenomenal about this, again, are the angles. And you'll see as I break it down, the basic receiver's running a drag route, but he runs a little bit of a vertical first. So most times when you run a bootleg, you're going to run a guy deep off the front side, a drag on the back side. We used to call it a gold bullet till it became not PC to call it a gold bullet. But you kind of wait till the safety falls asleep to throw the backside route here. And then sometimes your running back will slip out or what have you, or tight end comes across. So in this position, they run a very traditional bootleg here. He's going to run off, drag going out, very hard to defend, and it puts KJ in no man's land is what you're going to have. And so what happens is KJ sees the play. Now, right there, you can recognize that he did exactly what he needs to do. Lineman goes down or tight end takes off or whomever's moving this direction. So he has to flow with that. He keeps his shoulders square. He doesn't get anxious. This is where it becomes very tough, though. He now is in one of the most difficult positions a defensive player can be in, because he has to make a very educated decision here based on film study, based on the quarterback that's playing. If this is a different quarterback, he may have to come up and just attack it, but then he's going to give up a wide open guy behind him because he knows the defense they're playing is a bail, turn, and run. So he's gone. Safety's back deep. I mean, there's nobody in this range right here. So as I get to the spot right here, you can see that this top circle where nobody's in, that's where he's going to make the interception. Okay, let me just back it up just a second here. The first one here, this is where he's going to make the interception. So you can tell he just now took a peek to the inside. Again, absolutely phenomenal. It's what you would expect a great linebacker to do. So first he read the play, saw bootleg. Instead of just going lateral and I don't know what to do, he drops 45-degree angle, takes one peek to see where's the receiver and at what depth is he. I'll guarantee you he probably saw this and either thought, oh, he's exactly where he needs to be, or, oh, man, he's really deep. He ran a vertical before he ran across, which means I've got to change my angle to go back the other direction. So now as the play continues on, you'll see that he starts to run backwards, and as he goes backwards, he just took another peek. So just before I put up the second triangle, right there he took his second peek, because now he has to see what is the angle of this receiver. Receiver came up the field. Receiver was going at a deeper angle, and then the receiver started to flatten out. Well, that tells you you need to change. You need to change your own triangle. So now this triangle just got tighter, but he's still going to end it. He's got to end up in the spot. But where he started from here back to here, on the first look, he changed his angle to there. On the second look, now he's going to change his angle. And he does all of this, Norb, backpedaling. That's what's crazy about it. He doesn't once turn his body, doesn't turn his hips sideways to where and we always say the poorest position in football is when you can see both numbers of a player at certain times. Obviously, there's times you got to turn and run and such. But you want to stay square or you're turning and chasing. Instead, he does this perfectly. And now he's at the spot where he knows the quarterback is not ever even going to think run. And so where does he get to? He gets to right here where now he's in a spot of, I know he's throwing and he's squared up. So now I'm going to change my angle again. I'm going to backpedal straight back. So he's gone from, he literally does 4 angles. I'm not going to go back to all of them. He started up front. He went down to the right because he saw a potential running play, stayed squared. Then he backpedaled at a 45-degree angle. Then he changed his angle from there, changed his angle one more time, which got him to this spot. And now as Cousins is getting ready to throw, now he goes into straight backpedal mode. And man, oh man, does he make one heck of a play, right? I mean, that is awesome. And I don't care how much sticky stuff they have on their gloves. You still have to be in the proper position. So here he is at the beginning of the same play. This is a great angle to see that. Norm, tell me, does this look like Madden to you? It looks exactly like when I first pulled this up from the ends of you. I said, did somebody slip a Madden play in the All-22?
It's very Madden. It is very, very Madden-like.
It's shaded the grass. I mean, it's so funny. So again, what I want you to watch, and I'm just going to let this play after the spot shot. I don't have any other graphics on it. Watch how he stays lateral, and look at how big he is. Like, good stance. His stance is so much bigger because he's a huge dude. And I get that he's closer, so I understand that through watching Norb do video for years. Okay, so here he comes. As he comes down, just watch how he stays nice and lateral here so he can see everything. Lateral, back angle. Looked again. Now he's going to go back. Boom. Okay, so I'm going to play it one more time. Just watch how this time, just watch his head. When he backpedals, he takes a peek to the right after a couple strides, back to the quarterback, and then he peeks again. And each time he peeks, he just slightly adjusts his angle to be in the – even if the ball's perfectly thrown down low, it's going to be intercepted, or it's going to be overthrown out of bounds. I mean, it's flat out awesome. Okay, here he goes, backpedal. Here comes peek 1. There's peek 2. Now he's going back, sees it, makes the play.
One-handed at that.
Yeah, I mean, this is just – fantastic. Boom. That's the poster I want to have right there. I mean, that is great play. The vertical, eyes up on the ball, highest point. And now, I don't care they didn't circle up because he had to do everything he could to reach it. He couldn't get that left hand up there. He's just trying to maybe knock it down, but he got the old Lester Hayes stick him on the gloves. So, I'm going to go to the next player. And then after this one, I may go to a fourth one before we take calls, but we may do one after this because in the next set, there's a lot more breakdown to it because the plays are elongated. I just want you to see the athleticism and just have an appreciation for just the man himself, like these kind of intangible things. The remembering a week later that I saw a play, and he had to pick that up in a split second. Oh, a motion coming. Is it motion? Okay, I saw that last week. FBI, I got to communicate. Interception. And then now that last play, sniffs out the screen. Boom, he's right on him. This one, you remember during the season quite a bit, Norb, we talk about the backside leverage, how when guys are running, when there's a bootleg or a play action or some sort of running play away, that the backside guy has got to maintain, he's got to stay at home. The most basic term is stay at home and keep your shoulders square to the line of scrimmage. What so many guys do, even in the NFL, even after years and years and years, they'll start running up the field, or they'll feel like, oh, I can chase this guy down because all these guys are zone blocking to the right, and this running play it's a kind of a stretch that's running out here. Man, I'll just chase this down so this guy can't cut back against the grain, which is becoming very popular, right? The guys are coming back here. Beast mode was super popular. His Beast Quake run, even though it came on this side, it was here, bounced out, off he went. So here what we have taking place on just the regular play is a knockdown, which is different than a bootleg, different than what most people probably thought was going to come here. But let me show you what just makes this incredibly special. Obviously, just a guy that can knock down any passes, like it's awesome because you're teaching guys to get their hands up. But it's how he does it. And again, this is not a breakdown of a play like the next few are going to be. But right here, look at how he goes lateral. Having watched a lot of linebackers, I would put him in easily the top 5, maybe even top 3 I've seen of walk-up linebackers or linebackers that get up on the line of scrimmage. They have to play this backside, who on first step, he crosses over, but now immediately, look at his foot square up. His right foot squares up, left foot, and he doesn't cross his foot again. And he does this all the time, which allows him to be now in this great position. Even on a Cousins pump, just a mini pump fake, Cousins smart enough to pull it back in, regardless of what you think of him. He knows to pull it back down. The fact, now, that is the pose right there. If I could get a poster, that'd be the second one I'd get of KJ.
That's like an Air Jordan logo pose there.
There's another one coming later that I will.
Oh, I think I know which one.
You know what it's going to be. But I mean, I have scoured film forever. Rare is the time that I've seen a linebacker go Spider-Man like this. I mean, it is because what you're doing is he can recognize that pump now took away his ability to throw over the top because he didn't bring it back. And he again, I'm not making this one up. This is him saying this in an interview. Because it was just a great breakdown of some things. He's like, yeah, as soon as I saw that the pump came back, I know that he has no time to then wind back up, go, ear to ear. So they like to say ear to ear and then a quick throw. Can't do it. He's got to do some sort of old Dave Craig sidearm, Mahomes sidearm. No, I'm not equating Dave Craig to Mahomes, so don't throw that out on the super chat. But look at that. Look at that spot. I mean, he's got all 360 degrees. I mean, no matter where he tries to throw, He can scissor his legs. He can cross his arm. He can do whatever he wants. He's most likely going to bat that ball down, and he's maybe 5 yards away at most, and he's able to get that ball knocked down. I mean, that is unbelievable. the way he bats that ball down. It's not thrown into his hand. Again, watch what he does. I'll play it regular speed, and then I'll play it slow-mo again. He doesn't stick his hand out and have it thrown into his hand like a D lineman. He bats it down at the top of the ball. Down.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, that is on. When I saw that, I love the woo tackle and the woo hit. I wooed on that. Oh man, I couldn't believe that. And I get animated when I watch these things. But holy cow! Again, just for one last appreciation of it. This right here, I forget the movie. I think it was Rounders. Like, pay the man his money. Like, pay the man his money, right? Like, Malkovich. I wish I could do the accent like he did. He has so many of these type of plays that are like, and he's lined up next to a Hall of Famer. Pay these guys whatever they want.
Pay this man his money.
Yeah, there it is.
With a little Oreo on the side. Yeah. Rounders, great movie.
If I wasn't doing this, my producer could pull that clip up for you guys probably. But look, pull up John Malkovich. I think it's Rounders. Him pay the man his money, because this guy, I'm telling you right now, and you'll see the rest of the way why. I don't care if we got to overpay him. You do that with your linebackers. You do it with your linebackers if you've got solid guys like that. So we go 1 week later. Okay, this is the playoff game. 1 week later, and here they are, the Dallas Cowboys. Now, Norb, you know more than anybody, and I know you play quite a bit of Madden now, so you're probably really figuring it out. This is a big-time copycat league, right? At every level, high school, college, and NFL. It's it was wing T in the 80s, and it was the West Coast offense in at the pro level. And then in the 90s and 2000s, it became kind of single back slot receiver. And then now it's been spread and all these other things. So now you're seeing these jumbo packages, receivers constantly going in motion. And what these are is we call them commercials. So you got a receiver at the bottom here who's going to go in motion, just like Fitzgerald did. You got this jumbo package with the extra tight end over here. And what you see happening here is the FBI is starting to talk like, hey, this looks familiar. Now, he talks about this in a couple of interviews back after the game, even though they struggled a little bit at the end of that game, obviously, of what he saw there. And he says, I saw Arizona run this same look the week before. I didn't know what play was coming, but I had to hesitate a little bit on the run in case my corner didn't recognize it. So now let's watch what happens. Same play, zip down. The only difference is we get the motion, and there he goes. It's the exact same play. The difference is the FBI veteran makes the play on it. So watch it again. Coming down. Quick little hit. And I'll let you read that here in just a second.
Donated a
$1.99. Now he's deep.
Super chat. Respect the time and efforts, fellas. Go Hawks, baby.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jake, for the super chat. We appreciate that. Thanks for the shout out.
So I'm going to show this, and then I'm going to explain what I'm going to lead into for the rest of the show here. Okay, so here he is right here. Now remember, just the week earlier, that's 2018, just the week earlier, he saw that play. They got beat on it, and because the corner has to respect that run, so he has to come up a little bit. And he's a linebacker, and right now he's playing more like an inside linebacker because he's playing over the top because of the way the edge is and because of the defense that we're playing. So again, same play, end zone view. You can see here, but now the difference is, He's looking right away, and he can see that these hats are all high. And linebackers are taught to read through the guards and the linemen to the running back. Read through the guards and the linemen to the running back. If those linemen are low and they're coming out hard, you know it's a run. But if they stand up tall, like you see here, all their hats are above. You got a double team, hats up high. Double team, hats up high. Double team, hats up high. Left tackle, hat up high. All he's looking through is this spot right here, and he can see no ball, hats up high. So what does he immediately do? He turns and chases a wide receiver that is not his responsibility. You can see right there, just fantastic job of the quick pivot. Watch how quick he plants on his right foot, knows he's got to throw the left elbow, turn, chase, run. And here's the best part that I want everybody to notice. And he said it in the interviews when I watched it. A while back, I remember him saying it because he's one of the best linebackers I've ever seen at chasing guys down and understanding the concept we talked about in the last Coach's Corner, which is usually saved for wide receivers and DBs. And that is, if you're behind the play and you know the receiver is still running away from you, that tells you the ball's being thrown perfectly. Go find the arms. Don't bother looking back, because if you look back, you're going to get separation. And he's not a guy that chases down receivers that often, right? So watch him chase down this receiver. never looks back at the ball. All he's trying to do is catch up to him, and the moment he sees those arms go up, he's going to go battle for battle, his hands to elbows. And that's what you're usually teaching DBs. You're teaching DBs to go hands to elbows. So watch it here as it plays out regular speed. He's not even looking. He just goes after it. Could there be pass interference? Maybe, but it's such a quick play at full speed. They're probably not going to make that call, and this is late in the game when this takes place. So let me just play it a little bit slower here. Take it back. So look right here. The high knee, everything. He's driving. He's recognized this play. Our DB, I'm not going to go back to the side view, but our DB had choked up. Now, why is this important? Because he had to move into a new position this year for a lot of he didn't play it all year, but he moved into quite a bit. But the plays you're going to see coming up speak to an incredible football IQ and just how much this guy studies, feels, and appreciates the fundamentals. And in many, many interviews I watched while I was researching it, he would constantly bring it up. Yeah, I got to get back to the fundamentals. I got to work on my fundamentals. It'd be like the week of the playoffs. Well, all I'm focusing on are my fundamentals this week. That's a fundamental type play. So here's what we're going to get. At the beginning of the play, I'm going to let it just run. Like I like to let it run, and you're going to see Ezekiel do his little set and then break out. Awesome play from KJ on the backside. So now let's watch it in a kind of a slow down, breakdown tempo piece. Now, right away, you see hats come up, first step shuffle. And if you're new to the channel, one of the things I like to challenge people to do is you get ready to watch football for next year, as you're prepping for next year, practice watching just the lineman. Whether it's end zone view, side view, within a split second, you should be able to freeze frame, boom, and know if it's run or pass. And I would do that constantly. Coaches at every level are always doing that. Because right now, you should be able to tell if it's run or pass. Here's the thing. As soon as this ball is snapped, you can see that eyes have gone this direction. His eyes are in the backfield. So everybody has keys. You have certain keys you're supposed to read. This is the difference between a Hall of Famer and almost a guy who could be a Hall of Famer, right? He's already seen that it's pass. So now he's looking for who is his key. If he's man-to-man, do I have a receiver slot guy? What is my end doing? He's just going to be a fraction of a second before he does it. Okay, so now he's read the keys, and his key is probably I've got man-to-man on running back, and that's probably the reason why he's still staying there as well. So I'm not saying he's doing anything wrong. But it's looking like pass. There's no play action. And what he does is, Norb, do you recall this rhetorical, unless you get it right off the bat? What is the number one thing that football is all about? The number one thing that football is all about is all about angles. It's all about angles. And FYI, Norb and I do not collaborate on what I'm going to talk about or questions I'm going to ask on this show.
No, I've just been paying attention.
You do, man. I do. And I know because you bring it up when you're watching games with your dad. You'll bring stuff up. I'm like, all right, awesome. So his footwork and his angles are unbelievable. Footwork is crucial to make sure you're getting to the right spot, but you have to take the proper angle. Your footwork isn't going to matter. Well, right away, his first right step is lateral because he knows he has to cut him off. He doesn't know what the play is yet. For all he knows, Ezekiel could be going straight down the field. You can see that Wagner's looking over here, so he's got his vision on some sort of a cross or anything that's coming, head on a swivel. But what's great is, he is already on a hard beeline because he can sense and see that there's going to be a release. He's recognized that this tackle is immediately coming out at him after a pass pro. Now, if you want to become really, really good at watching games, and I've had a lot of people, private DM me, and like there's kind of this common thread question of how do you watch football games? Well, I watch it as a fan with my family and laugh and cheer like all of you guys. So I don't sit there as a coach and try to second guess everything. I try to enjoy the game. On Mondays, then I'll break down things and stuff like that. How fast these guys pick up things, Norb, it's unbelievable. I know you've been down there. I've been very lucky to be on the field a few times because of my mentor. But when you get down there and you see these linemen, how quick they're moving, the linebackers, how quick they're reacting, all the different things. So the fact that he is able to recognize that it's a pass, he may have a key here, but immediately he sees that this guard is leaning forward, which changes the perception of everything. It's no longer, I'm going to cover a guy that might be going deep. A great linebacker immediately realizes the only reason a lineman's coming after him is because now a pass pro has turned into a screen. It's turned into a screen pro, as they would technically call it, right? Screen is screen protection, pass pro, pass protection. So now screen's coming out at him. He's got to beat this guy to the spot. Because look, we're on a retreat mode because DB's covering there. His linebacker buddy is way back here in a coverage. And again, that's where he's supposed to be. So I'm not saying he's out of position. So he has to clean up this mess because if he doesn't, we're in a world of hurt.
He's got a convoy of guys running ahead of Ezekiel Elliott.
and you know me, man, I love screens. I wish we could figure it out. I think we will this year, regardless of who's playing quarterback. Hopefully it's Russ. But, I mean, the fact that he is able to beat these guys and sniff it out, man, it is awesome when you see linebackers or somebody else that can sniff out a screen. Because, again, you have 900 pounds coming out here getting ready to block. You know, you have 3-on-2s all over the place. And he ends up getting Ezekiel for a 2-yard loss. It's fantastic.
Great recognition. Great recognition right off the top.
Yeah, it really, really is.